Hey folks, what's up? It's Ryan here. So today we're going to be making some salsa, we're going to be confying some pork, and just doing some general meal prep. These days I've been, struggling to find the courage to, make a full, elegant meal for myself, as I'm sure is quite relatable. So I picked up a few ingredients. We've got some dried chilies, we've got some shallots, some roasted garlic, cilantro, some lime juice, some spices, and my favorite of all, pork shoulder. First thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toast up my chilies, I'm gonna saute up some of my shallots, we're gonna blend it with the roasted garlic, and we're gonna make a nice little salsa, and we're gonna confit our pork overnight with some beef fat. We're gonna smoke the beef fat first. We've got a lot of meal prep to make this nice and tasty, so let's get going.
So we've got our cascabels here. This is one of our dried peppers. These are not too spicy, pretty light and floral as far as peppers go. Some pasillas, these have some darker fruit notes, maybe like some plum, as well as some smokier elements to it. And I'm sure you guys know chipotle. Nice flavor between these two for some of those smoky, darker notes, while we're still brightening it with some of this. And a lot of lime juice, maybe some orange juice, I don't know, we'll see. Some roasted garlic. Our salsa, I'm gonna take some of these shallots, we're gonna chop it up, sweat it down with some beef fat, as well as some spices, and then that's gonna kind of be like a nice aromatic zestiness to this dish.
Now normally I would grind my own spices, but this is all Safeway had for some reason, so we're just gonna go with that.
Looks kind of dry, isn't it? I think we should add a little bit more beef fat. Much better. So we're all nice and caramelized here. We're gonna toss in some of this roasted garlic, just get a nice little mix around. We're not gonna add too much garlic because we want the peppers in this to shine mostly. This is just for background. We're just gonna let this go for a couple minutes. We're gonna set it aside and then we're gonna do our peppers. So because these peppers still have their stems, we're just gonna take them off. We're gonna leave all the seeds in, break it up into smaller pieces, and then toast it in a pan. Our peppers are all torn up here, nice and ready to go. Now with some of these darker peppers, it can be kind of confusing on when they're done toasting. I just go by the seed color and hope that they're not burnt. Let's just try not to die by inhaling all these fumes. But yeah, we're ready to blend it. We're gonna add in our aromatics. Add in our aromatics now. Decent amount of olive oil. Look at how orange this orange is. It kind of looks like a grapefruit almost.
Now, when most people think salsa, they're thinking the thing that goes on top of the tacos. They're thinking pico de gallo. Well, this isn't like that. This is gonna get folded into our meat after it's cooked to help season the meat a little bit more. So when it looks a bit chunky monkey like this, that's actually what we're looking for. So I think we're pretty good here. We're just gonna taste it, adjust for some seasonings, and then we're gonna pop it in the fridge and we're gonna cook our pork. And before one of you guys says, ew, too oily, shut up.
Still a bit frozen on the inside, but got our nice little spice rub of cumin, coriander, a little bit of chipotle pepper, as well as some black pepper. And this is just gonna coat it nicely and toast while we're searing. It will get pretty smoky in here, so the fire alarm will likely go off. I think I got all this pork for like $7, which is pretty good. And shoulder is one of my favorite parts. Pork in the bag. Take all of this beef fat.
So now, beyond cleaning up this giant mess behind me, we're gonna let it sit in the water overnight. It's probably about 12 to 15 hours of cooking time, and then we're gonna just let it sit in the fridge, aging for a little bit, probably for 2 or 3 days, just letting it age a bit, helping all the flavors incorporate, and then we're gonna pull it, separate it, bag it, and freeze it, so that all the flavor's already in it. So all I gotta do is just pull it out of the freezer, warm it up, and then it's ready to go. So that's it for today, and we'll see you guys for when it's time to bag. And we're back. So we let the pork age for over the weekend. We're just about to heat it up, strain it out of the beef fat. Gonna mix in a little bit of that salsa we made, and then we're just gonna sample it today and portion out the rest and freeze it.
So we got the pork here. It's nice and tender. The fat is pretty hard, so I could just pull it out, but I kind of want to keep the pieces intact until I shred it so I don't lose any. So then we're just gonna drop it into there. Oven is just, preheating, whatever. Mix in the salsa, season it nicely,
We got some fresh tortillas from Chancho. This is a local tortilla place in Vancouver. They make all the tortillas using native corn, so kind of like farm to table. They're already nice and warmed up for us.
Some banchan from Chancho as well. We got some beans, lime, some green salsa, some pickled onions and serranos, cilantro, and just some regular onions. So we're just gonna melt this a little bit. Honestly, I hate using forks to shred. I'd rather just use my hands, but I don't have gloves and it's really hot right now, so whatever. We're all nice and shredded down. We don't want to go too fine because we still want to have some bite, so like stuff like this is delicious. Yeah. This one. Oh my goodness, those peppers smell so strong. All right, time to taste. Look at my hands, look at how greasy they are right now. Pop it into some delis. I think about, that should be a meal for two. Because we don't just eat meat when we eat tacos. You want beans, you want like greens, you want something else that ends in eans. So out of that pork shoulder, we got one lunch and 3 separate meals here. So we're gonna pop these into the freezer once they've cooled down a bit more. And we're gonna try this one out right now. Delicious, delicious. And take some beans, some of our meat here, some pickled onions and serrano, some sweet onion, cilantro, green tomatillo salsa, and some lime. Oh wow, holy shit, that's good. You gotta try this, this is good. All right guys, I'm gonna eat this. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.